Welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we are talking about feeling satisfied. Hoarse, as you can hear, but other than that, I'm really good.
Well, good. It's better to have a hoarse voice and feel good than to feel bad and not have a hoarse voice.
I suppose that's true. Although I thought you were going to make a joke about a horse and a pony for some reason. I don't know what that joke would have been.
No, sorry. Instead, I was getting philosophical.
Right. I don't know, but if maybe you could work on a joke about a pony, that would be kind of awesome.
How long have you known me? I don't make jokes. I don't do puns. I'm really bad at jokes.
I guess I've never really realized that.
If I ever make a pun, it's unintentional. That's a guarantee.
I'm a little shocked because I never really realized that, because I guess it's because I think like we spend so much time laughing together. I assume that that's what we're doing, but I guess we aren't. We're just having fun.
Yeah, and since you've met my father, I can see how it would be surprising, because my father's all about telling jokes and making puns, or maybe not making puns, but he loves a joke. I keep a note in Evernote of jokes to tell him. Because I can't tell a joke unless I'm reading it.
I'm feeling a little shocked right now.
Well, I'm glad this long into our relationship I can still surprise you.
Yeah, you can surprise me, but I also sort of feel like, how did I miss that? Oh, that's funny. Anyway, well, I guess we just have to be satisfied, right?
That's right. You need to be satisfied with being friends with somebody who makes no puns and tells jokes poorly. And yet we still have a good relationship full of laughter. Yeah,
I know. We have so many pictures of us like dying laughing.
Not at jokes, though.
Apparently not. I don't know what we're laughing at.
I don't either.
It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so today we are talking about feeling satisfied.
Right, feeling satisfied, which is such an important aspect to a good enough mentality.
Right. Well, and it is part of what helps you cultivate a good enough mentality. You know, as a person who tends towards perfectionism. Finding those points of satisfaction of when you can feel satisfied with good enough really makes it easier to do more of that, to have, more of that feeling, as opposed to continually striving for the unachievable perfection.
Right. And I would think recognizing the feeling of satisfaction that without perfection and playing into it is a big part. Like maybe, I don't know, but maybe just thinking about what satisfied means to you and then recognizing it when you feel it is a key to living a happy life.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I also think that to start with, if you have a tendency to not feel satisfied and to be more in that mode of striving, that looking for ways to be satisfied, looking for places where you can feel satisfied is really helpful.
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah, so, I've talked a bit about how my outdoor activities aren't what they once were. Like I really want to be climbing mountains, but I can't. And so I've restarted skiing down them. But when I'm paying attention to what I can't be doing, and if I'm out skiing and I'm thinking about, boy, I wish I was climbing the mountain instead of skiing down it, I don't feel satisfied. I don't enjoy what I'm doing. But if I sort of let go of the sort of that ideal of what I would rather be doing and pay attention to what I am doing and what's great about that, and feeling satisfied that, I get to be on the mountain and I get to experience this, then it's much more enjoyable.
Right. Oh, that makes perfect sense. And I mean, yeah, paying attention to what you can do, not what you can't do, and feeling fortunate for that, or feeling satisfied by that, is a really good example. And I while you were talking, what popped into my mind, because obviously I'm not relating to mountain activities.
Right.
Maybe that's not obvious, but I don't like cold weather, and I like to stay inside. My friend Geraldine refers to me as an indoor cat, which I love. So
you are totally an indoor cat.
Yes. But I was thinking about how, as I've gotten older, my vision has gotten worse, and both reading and my distance vision is changing because I have some cataracts and stuff. And I spent a goodly amount of time feeling unhappy about that, or dissatisfied with the fact I don't see perfectly, even with glasses on.
Right.
And really, I just realized in listening to you, perhaps it would be more beneficial for me to focus on the fact I can see with my glasses on, and I can do everything I want to do. I mean, I'm really not impaired. I can do all the stuff I want to do. It's not perfect, and it's not, I have to have better light and so forth.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'm feeling like very grateful for the fact that I actually can knit and do the lettering and read and all those things.
Right. Well, and you can watch TV and you can drive and
yeah,
and you can go to the movies.
Yeah. In fact, when I go to the movies now, I can take my glasses off, which is weird. I see better without my glasses on at the movies. Things are changing.
That is weird.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, I should not feel dissatisfied with the fact my vision's not perfect. I should feel satisfied with the fact that my vision is really good enough to do everything I need to do.
Yeah. Well, and also you can look forward to the time when you have cataract surgery and you get to have corrective lenses implanted when you won't need your glasses at all.
Right, and by then maybe they'll implant, or maybe they have them now, lenses that correct for distance and reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a good point to pay attention to what is possible for you, what you are able to do, instead of having, sort of focusing on the dissatisfaction of what you can't do. Or what's frustrating. And as you're talking about that and I'm saying that, I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, I need to do this more, in terms of the things that I still find difficult to do after my concussions. So it's, some things are more of a struggle for me, and some things are, they're just, my brain works differently than it used to, and my brain is still working perfectly fine.
It's just different.
It's just different.
I think you've done an amazing job of keeping a great attitude while you adapt to new brain realities. So cheers to you. I mean, I don't hear the frustrations. You don't say them to me, I guess. But I'm sure it is frustrating. But yeah, I think you're really amazing that way.
Well, it's, I guess it's the sort of, what helps is recognizing that I have done and am doing the things I can do to have a positive impact, and then there's not much more I can do. So, being satisfied that I am trying, that I'm doing what I can do, and that, this really is good enough. Because like you were saying with your vision, I can do, well, the injuries have also, that's part of why I can't do the endurance activities that I used to do. So, there are limitations, but there's still plenty that I can do. Mm-hmm. It's not, it could be significantly worse.
Absolutely.
And so, this has, it sort of has echoes of of gratitude, but really I think what we're talking about is like you said, understanding what satisfied feels like to you and then having more of that. Mm-hmm. And creating places where you can have more of that.
Right, setting yourself up for feelings of satisfaction by trying to curtail perfectionistic expectations, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. Well, and so I was working with a client recently who was really setting herself up to never be satisfied with her to-do list, because she was really having this feeling that she wasn't going to be satisfied until she ticked everything off of her to-do list. But, it's an open list and new things are coming in all the time and there's more to be done and there always will be more to be done. And so she was setting herself up to never feel satisfied by it and to be always striving for something that was impossible to reach.
All right, unless you stop doing things.
Right.
You can never check everything off your to-do list, right?
Yeah. So what we talked about was creating a situation where she could feel satisfied, where she could check everything off. So, she might have this open list where everything goes, and then each day she would pick the 2 or 3 things that she needed to do that day or was going to do that day that she could feel satisfied about completing. Mm-hmm. And then, then that goes onto the list for the day, and then you get to tick those things off and have that feeling of satisfaction.
Right. That's a great way to set yourself up for success. It reminds me, do you remember, we've talked about Mark Forster, who's this time management guy who has all these different ideas, but my first exposure to him was his book called Do It Tomorrow and Other Secrets of Time Management. And
actually I talked about that with her yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With my client, yeah.
So his notion is that you don't do anything you only work on things that came in yesterday, basically. So your list is, your task list is based on yesterday's workflow, and anything that comes in today you put on a list for tomorrow. And that way it's a closed list, and you have a fighting chance of getting things done. Now, I actually tried it for a little while. I actually had inboxes that said today and tomorrow, I guess they said. What did they say? Anyway, I had 2 different ones, and stuff would go in the tomorrow box. But the method that you recommended, I think, is a lot more sustainable, and a really good one. It's what I try to do as well. Although it's easier said than done, without a doubt. Yeah. I've been using Trello for time management and my task lists, and I have one called Today. When I set it up, a board called Today. When I set it up, the notion was, I just put on the stuff I was going to do today from I hadn't have a master list elsewhere. And then it started growing, and then I had these things I try to do every day that were on there, and so I started using labels so those the everyday ones get moved into the completed, but then they can move back every day to the to-dos, which is fine. So yesterday I was using more labels to prioritize, and so I had the priority things, and then I could realize I wasn't going to get all the priority things done, so I added a label called Mission Critical, and I got the Mission Critical stuff done. But while I was walking Bix this morning, I thought, you know what? I should just change the name of that board to This Week. And then I won't feel bad. I was feeling really bad about all these things that were hanging around in my today list. And then if I tag them or label them with today or whatever, and we'll fiddle around with that. But I think that's going to make me feel happier. But it's helping me to have these things together anyway.
Yeah, I feel because the way my workday is structured because I'm doing so many different things. I'm not going to an office and sitting there for 8 or 9 hours and, sort of chugging through things. It is easier for me to work on a weekly basis, like what needs to happen this week. And some things need to happen on particular days or by particular days, but having that, having sort of a week to get through the things I want to get through is much more satisfying to me than just doing it day and then like transferring stuff to the next day. It feels like I could carry over too much stuff.
Oh, right, yeah. And I wasn't carrying over, I was just staring at the same list. But yeah, I think I like that we're on the same wavelength there. I still haven't figured out a good spot, a good parking lot for the stuff that is important but not urgent, like, the master list, if you will. Right.
Well, it could be that you make sure you do one of those things every day. Hi, Bix.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
There's probably a school bus going by.
Yeah.
Yeah, although I still have to have a place to put them so that I need to have that open list. I guess I don't have right now.
Right. Well, and that open list can be sort of based on another concept of Mark Forster's, which is his autofocus or super focus list concepts, which I think we talked about in on the task management episode. But that has been super helpful to me. And then like when I talked about it with this client the other day, just, having a repository for everything that needs to happen, but not have to look at that list day in and day out.
Right. Just throw the new task on at the bottom of the list without worrying about categorizing or prioritizing or scheduling it. Right.
Right.
Just having a place to put it. Yeah. I should start a board called Autofocus.
Yeah.
That might make me happy. I'm loving Trello, though. Loving Trello. Trello's
you're still loving it. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's been a little while, too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good for me.
It is. Well, I think it's what we talked about, that like there's enough different ways for you to use it that it keeps you engaged and it allows you to manipulate it based on your needs and how you're feeling.
And it's pretty.
It is. Well, you can make it pretty.
Be. Yeah, it can be. So, yeah, I'm actually considering, I haven't done it, but I was considering upgrading to the premium version just so I could put my own photos as a background of boards.
Oh.
But that's probably unnecessary.
Although sometimes I feel like when I'm using a tool like that so much that I like to pay the premium or, whatever the upgrade is to support them because, we had the pain of things going away.
Right, it's true. Yeah, that's a very good point. It's a very good point. And they deserve it. They deserve my money because they're helping me so much.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. We'll give that some consideration.
Excellent.
Yes.
But I think the thing about that is hard for people who get caught up in perfectionistic thinking is the idea that if you are satisfied with less than perfect, then it will make you complacent.
Mm-hmm.
And
that it's not okay to be satisfied. Or you're not going to ever, you're giving up. Is that kind of it?
Right.
Giving up on perfect.
Yeah. Like you're giving up that you will somehow not work hard to do what you want to do if you are, cutting yourself some slack or if you are satisfied with anything less than perfection. Mm-hmm. And you can see like what an insidious thought pattern that is because you can't achieve perfection. And if you can't be satisfied with anything less than perfection and you can never achieve it, there you are never feeling satisfied.
Yeah. And that's a recipe for unhappiness. And it just seems counterintuitive to me as a non-perfectionist because I think about starting small and building and growing with things, which is what I think you can do when you embrace good enough because you can stay. Yeah, it's not complacency. It's it's allowing yourself to grow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about, like, not to get too down the rabbit hole of to-do lists and task management again, but the idea that, like, where this sort of shows up in that context as an example is that, like, you feel like you should be getting more done, or you know that you could be getting more done and you aren't. And so if you create some level of satisfaction below where you think you should or could be, then you're going easy on yourself and you're not making yourself do what you really could be doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But in fact, if you're going easy on yourself, you're allowing yourself satisfaction and productivity and to feel good about yourself and your work, which should be enhancing your productivity.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is, like, how much easier is it to do something when you feel good and you feel like you can actually achieve what you're setting out to do?
Yeah.
It's, like, infinitely easier.
Yep. No need to struggle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's no need to struggle, and there's no need to feel like you have to be whipping yourself to move forward. Mm-hmm. The carrot is very powerful. Mm-hmm. And the carrot in this case can be that feeling of satisfaction.
Nice. Yeah. Oh gosh, when I think about somebody checking off 10 things on a to-do list has 50 items on it, the feeling they get compared to checking off the same 10 things on a to-do list that has 10 items on it. I mean, it's
right.
It just seems obvious that you're going to make yourself happier if you set up those levels of satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, and that's sort of what got us, my client and I, talking about this, is that they had basically had a project as an item on the task list, as opposed to all the tasks related to it. And because the project was 80% done, but there was still more to do, she couldn't check it off her list because it was this whole project. And so she didn't get to experience, like, the satisfaction, how satisfying it felt to accomplish all these other things, because she was still beating herself up about the last 20% that still needed to be done.
Right. Oh, well, I hope you showed her the light.
Well, I think we got somewhere. And, but it's like so many things, it's a habit. And so you have to be pretty gentle with yourself in changing those habits.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a bit of a shift in beliefs, isn't it?
Yes.
I was just thinking about the letting go episode and how those truths, those things that seem to be true that actually are simply beliefs that can be changed.
Right.
Yeah. But also it's very tactical in this particular case. It's not esoteric at all. It's like break your projects into small tasks, check them off, feel better.
Yeah.
So it's something, what I like about it is you provided her with a strategy that she could potentially embrace and be happier.
Right. Well, and I imagine that you experience this a lot with your clients too, like clients who are striving to have some level of, Pinterest fueled perfection that isn't achievable.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If they're wanting is a beautiful kitchen desk, for example, clear with nothing on it, with pretty pictures on it, and so forth, and I remind them that of what they are doing that's right. And so many clients beat themselves up over not being perfect when in fact they're doing all sorts of wonderful things for their families and raising, healthy children and happy children and so forth. And being satisfied with that is, I think, really, really helpful. Sometimes Pinterest makes me crazy, or Instagram for that matter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, it seems like it does lead to some dissatisfaction, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of feeling dissatisfied by when I look at Pinterest. I don't think I'm guilty of posting things that make people feel bad. That's not it.
You're not feeding that.
I don't believe I am. No, no. Unless people are jealous of my beautiful poodle, that could be. It's possible.
That it's true.
Yeah.
You are increasing people's dissatisfaction with their own dog or their petlessness.
Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, that's possible. I hope I would never think that I make anybody feel bad about their own dog, but they might make them feel bad about their petlessness. Yes. Yeah, but I mean, truly, the things that busy moms and dads do to get their kids out the door in the morning, it can be Herculean, and they don't need to be striving for a perfectly, beautifully organized home at all times.
Right. Well, and I think that goes back to, one of your organizing, I don't know, mantra is not the right word, but that it just needs to be organized enough.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if you are able to get it out of the house on time with relatively little stress, that's organized enough.
Absolutely. If you can find what you want when you need it, that's organized enough. And that's big. But, I mean, that can be big. It can be harder to achieve. But, yeah, organized enough. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I think something just occurred to me that you can be organized enough, and you can also look, if you have the time, energy, resources, whatever, to do more than that, but you can feel satisfied and look to make changes.
Right. Yeah, right.
So,
it's a good point. Satisfied doesn't mean complacent, as you said, but satisfied doesn't mean you can't improve.
Right. Right. So, you can be satisfied with how it's going, and then also maybe look for ways that you could tweak it to make it go better. I'm thinking in terms of getting out of the house in the morning. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to be unhappy with it to be able to make a change. You can be satisfied, and also, and I think that's the key, the word and also look for places to improve it if you have like I said, the time, energy, and resources to do it. If what you're doing uses up all your time, energy, and resources, then that's good enough. You don't need to change anything.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I was just thinking about, with my yoga practice, I'm really satisfied with the fact that I'm doing it every day. Mm-hmm. And I hope to get bendier. I hope to improve.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's plenty of room for improvement, but I'm feeling very satisfied with just doing it.
That's excellent. That is such a perfect example, because you can want to improve and feel good about what you're doing now. Mm-hmm. The fact that you aren't as bendy as you want to be doesn't impact your ability to enjoy where you're at now.
That's right. Doesn't impact my ability to get on the mat.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I could strive to make yoga an example for everything, every single episode. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Well, that I met a yoga teacher once who had a studio that was called It's All Yoga.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, I think it's so true. The like one of the tenets of yoga is to sort of meet yourself where you're at, and not, not be striving for more, not to be pushing for more, but to meet yourself where you are. And some days are different than others.
Yeah, that does apply to many things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess, we're really sort of at the heart of what the whole podcast is about, is that, like, when you really embrace good enough, you can feel satisfied with it.
And when you can feel satisfied with good enough, you can be happy.
Yep. And you
Happier.
you can be happier, you can do more of what you really want to be doing. Like it creates space in your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm like thinking of like all the energy that I've put in over time of like wishing things were different than they are.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how thinking less about the past but more about the future. Like, it's really something to embrace, like recognizing satisfaction and feeling satisfied.
Yeah. So I think that one of the keys is to cultivate the habit of feeling satisfied, of finding places where you can feel satisfied, finding satisfaction in where you are. Rather than, waiting for satisfaction to find you.
Ooh.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, I did. Because it may never find you if you're not open to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that end of that sentence. I liked it.
Oh, good. Well, do you have anything else to say about feeling satisfied?
No, I don't think so. I wish you a very satisfying rest of the day, Shannon.
Thank you. And I do. And to all of our listeners, thank you for listening. And we'd like to know, what you find satisfying and where you struggle to find satisfaction, or anything else that you would like us to talk about in terms of getting to good enough. You can leave us a voicemail at 413-424-GTGE. You can leave a comment on the show notes at gettingtogoodenough.com, where you will also find links to all of our social media profiles. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So for now, I'm Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And I'm Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. Well, that was pretty satisfying.
Yes, it was.